Hey everyone, welcome back to Secret Sonics. This is Mixed Notes number 3. Today, I thought I'd chat about building trust through communication. Building trust is essential, and I think it's kind of been my secret sauce. It's really helped me make a living in audio and music production, as a mixer, and also as a musician. Trust is everything, and it's the reason why people keep coming back to me over and over again. They say, it's cheaper to keep an existing client than to find a new one, and that's because existing clients already trust you. And once an artist trusts you, they're going to just keep coming back to you. And even if they go check out someone else, maybe they want a different creative direction, they might still come back to you again because they trust you already another time. Or if they're looking to go back to the original thing or do something new with you. I can't overemphasize how important trust is. And you should just continuously be building that trust. And this is actually something I talked about a little bit more in depth on the Mixing Music podcast with DK. You should go check that episode out. And shout out to DK, who's been on the show, and his co-host Lou, whose episode is forthcoming. Yes, we really get into that whole nitty-gritty thing. And he kind of pointed it out to me like this. He said it's a white glove, service. You're there every step of the way, helping the artist, making sure you're in their corner, providing all the fine touches. This isn't like, a McDonald's or, buying a dozen batteries on Amazon. This is like the real thing where you're there and you're showing up and you're being there for your clients. So I kind of summarized building trust into these kind of like two tiers, but they talk to one another. They're not mutually exclusive, but the two things that I think help build trust the most are being transparent about everything and showing up for your clients / the artists you're working with. In terms of being transparent, that means like being upfront about costs, timelines, what your strengths are. I always try to tell people like, hey, this is what I can do with you, and this is where we're going to have other people come in and join us on the team because I'm not a mastering engineer. So let's bring in our mastering engineer, and let's and maybe somebody else will edit vocals because it'll be cheaper and will be just as good, if not better. Or maybe I'm not a good enough guitarist to work on this song. If you're looking for those kinds of solos, let's find a session musician to come in and do that part. Or let's hire a real drummer for this particular one. So just being upfront about all those things, being transparent, super, super important. And like, I'm super transparent and upfront also on the phone. The first phone call I have with an artist, if they're thinking about working with me, I tell them about how I work, what to expect, what it's like. And then I usually invite them into the studio to show them, hey, this is how I work. This is my setup. This is some of the music I've worked on. And they say, oh, wow, this sounds really good. This is cool. And you're nice. And this is inviting and all these things. All these things are super important. And they all revolve around being transparent. And then once they're, in my orbit and I'm working with them, I make sure to always show up. And showing up is showing them that the music is as important to me as it is to them. And so, you're giving the artist and the music the respect they feel it deserves. And that is really that's how you double down on your relationship with the artist that you're working with. And that happens by being diligent, always trying to improve the song, continuing to be transparent about those things, right? All this I did this mix. And then like a day later, I was thinking about it, maybe the kick needs to be a little bit punchier. Go in, you fix the kick, you send a message like, hey, I've been thinking about the mix I sent you yesterday. I think the kick could be a bit punchier. How do you like this? Just always being upfront and transparent about those moves while you're showing up for them. And so that's really like kind of like the secret is like you're there every step of the way, showing them how it's happening and how involved you are and how invested you are. And if you're doing those kinds of things with the artists you're working with, they're going to continue to trust you and hire you again and again and again. And so, yeah, building trust, it's everything. And it comes from being dedicated to the work you do and showing that to the artists that you're working with. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little mixed notes about trust and communication. Yeah, let me know if you like these mixed notes. I have no idea. People, tell me if this is cool, interesting to you, what you want to be hearing more about from me. I'm kind of new to making kind of solo casty content, and I'm figuring it out. It's easier for me to kind of do the interview and kind of get into everything through what the other person is saying and being inspired. So this is a little bit, it's different. It's easier than, taking the time to do the interviews and getting all the edits together and getting everything proper. It's faster, but it's also harder because it's like, hey, what do I talk about now? What do people want to hear from me even? But I figured this is cool. I don't know. let me know if you like it. I want to hear from you. You can always shoot me a message on Instagram, either at the Secret Sonics page or at Ben Wallach Music. Or you can email me at ben@benwallach.com if you have anything to say, anything constructive, criticism, feedback, anything. I'm here. I'd love to hear about it. And if you made it this far into this episode, please leave me a review on Apple Podcasts, a rating, all that stuff, or subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. I know not all the podcast episodes are on YouTube, and because I really want people to listen to them on the podcast streaming apps, but I'm also figuring out YouTube and seeing what works, what sticks. It's a whole new world, and have to explore things and put things out there, because otherwise you don't reach as many people necessarily. And I think that Secret Sonics can have a bigger impact than it is already having. And it is having an impact, but like I know it could do more. So anyways, please let me know what you think of this. Love to hear from you. And next week we'll have another episode with another interview. It'll be great for the regular Secret Sonics stuff. Until then, take care and hope all is well. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Secret Sonics. If you've been digging the show, it would be awesome if you could share this episode or your favorite episode with a friend or two, and or leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your podcatcher of choice. That's it for now. Have a great week. Take care and dig in. See you soon. Bye-bye.